G'day guys, what a beautiful day in Portland, Texas right now. Last time you guys would have seen this car on the channel, it was almost snowing, it was raining, it was probably about 2 degrees, but yeah, here she is. The 2011 Dodge Challenger RT. So I came out here today with a plan to come and film this car right here. Let's just say I forgot absolutely everything I was going to talk about this car. There's only really one thing you can say about this car, is that don't you just want it in Australia? Like, let me know in the comments section down below whether we should get these. I know as soon as these things come into Australia, I'm going to buy one. This is by far the most mean looking muscle car I have ever seen. I'm not quite sure what it is just about the Dodge Challenger that just makes it just so impressive to look at. Whether it's, you know, that really old school looking front, or the fact that the lines are just so bold in this car that it just makes it look so aggressive. But I just love it with every inch of my body. I just love this car. Now I apologize for not cleaning the car whatsoever. We just took it on a massive road trip all the way from Portland, Texas, all the way up into San Antonio, and then up to Fredericksburg, and it was like a, I don't know, maybe a 3-4 hour trip to and from. It was an absolutely amazing trip. I had so much fun driving this car. I drove it the whole way, drove it the whole way back. It's an absolutely amazing car to drive on the highway. But yeah, I just haven't washed it. We are gonna go take it for a drive in this video today, so stay tuned. I got some like 0 to 100 sort of runs. I got some pull clips, and I just got regular driving clips, so I hope you guys really enjoy it. Here's some technical specs on the Dodge Challenger RT. So mind my shadow down there guys, but this right here is the Dodge Challenger RT. It comes with a 5.4 litre Hemi V8, non-supercharged. Now if I was to explain to someone what this car would be like to drive over in Australia, I mean it would feel pretty much the same as any XR8 or any V8 Commodore. It's a very big bulky car. I would say it's probably about the same size as a regular Commodore back in Australia. Probably a little bit bigger than all the Falcons that are out there. But yeah, it still feels like that big, you know, torquey, heavy V8, if you guys know what I mean. In comparison to when I drive this, like to the turbo back over in Australia, this thing here, it feels a little bit more torquey, but obviously you sort of like lose that all at the top end. My turbo, obviously when it spools up, it feels like it pulls you along so much faster than this car. I could imagine they would probably be roughly about the same speed. If not, this car might be a tad bit slower. In comparison to my XR6 turbo, like what would I rather have in Australia? This, of course, by far. I would rather have this car in Australia. But my turbo does feel a little bit faster. But yeah, I just can't give it up. Like look at this. Like, look how mean that car looks. I love it. Just a casual AC Cobra driving around. Wow, what a weapon. Anyway guys, let's jump inside the car and let's go for a bit of a drive. Alright, so just jumped inside the Dodge Challenger RT, maybe in the video. It does have a stock exhaust. Now, if you guys haven't seen my other American videos, you guys will probably understand that I'm driving on the wrong side of the car, wrong side of the road. Even though this one here is auto, makes it so much easier to drive. Driving in America isn't as hard as you guys think. You might see all these like American YouTubers going over to like Japan and Australia and all going, oh, I don't know how to drive the car. It's the most simple possible thing. It is a little bit difficult at the very first bit, but as soon as you start to follow a lot of the cars around, you really don't have an issue with it. And it really helps in Texas as well. You guys will probably notice like the background of all of these clips, it's going to be completely flat. Texas is the most flat place I think I've ever experienced in my entire life. But this is a quick little pull with the Hemi 5.4 litre V8. Let's see. So that was a very quick little 0 to 60, and back in Australia that would be a 0 to 100. sort of feels lightweight enough that you can kind of chuck it anywhere. It's kind of like if you were to drive a B series. The FG feels big and it reacts big, and this car feels big and it reacts big. But the B series Falcon kind of like, it's a small-ish car, but it feels like it's big. If you guys probably don't understand that, but that's what it kind of feels like to drive this car. I could imagine if you were to drive a SS Commodore, like maybe a VF or something, this is pretty much what it will feel like. So this car here does have a 6-speed automatic transmission, and you might notice down here, if you guys can see it, it's got like a little Mopar shifter on it. It's probably the most annoying shifter to have on this car, considering that when you want to bang down gears, it's to the left, and when you want to bang up gears, it's to the right. It's something that I've like never experienced on the cars before, so I'm like trying to like learn that too. It's so annoying. So one thing I did actually realize, well, I didn't realize when I came over here for the first time, was just how tall this car was as well. It's not like a sports car in a way. The car is very high off the ground. It's got massive 20-inch wheels, like 40 or 45 profile tires. The wheels are massive, and that sort of compensates for the rest of the car just being really high off the ground. And it's just, yeah, it's a really tall car. And you know, obviously when that happens, you get a lot of body roll. A lot of body roll. I didn't exactly notice it because a lot of this place is flat anyway. But the other day, I ran into an issue when we were coming back from Mexico. We just crossed over the Mexican border back into America, and then we went through the border patrol in America, and then it's just a flat road all the way. It's dead straight for about an hour and a half, roughly. We were just cruising there, going about, I don't know, I think the speed limit was 75. I think I was doing 85 because it was to the flow of traffic anyway, which over here is an amazing rule because you literally just drive to everyone else. Anyway, I was cruising down the highway at about 85 miles per hour, which is roughly about 130, 140 kilometers an hour. It's a dead straight road. You don't feel like it's too fast because everything's just sort of flying past you. You're just cruising on a dead straight road. There's no issues whatsoever. All of a sudden, huge, massive deer was just standing right in front of my car. I didn't have my high beams on because there was some cars like way off in the distance in front of me, and there was some oncoming cars every now and then, so it just wouldn't have been worth me putting my high beams on. This deer just came out of absolutely nowhere. This was Christmas Eve, by the way. I swear I would have hit Rudolph. Like, you know, like, come on, this thing was absolutely massive, and me just really quick reactions. I swerved straight around the thing. I didn't even think that you're supposed to go straight through them. Swerving is the worst possible thing you can do in terms of if an animal ever jumps out in front of your car. Anyway, managed to swerve around it, and to be honest, those deer are really high set. Like, they have really long legs, and I swear this thing would have come straight through the windscreen if I just gone straight through it. Like, this thing was absolutely huge. Yeah, I swear this thing would have killed someone if it went into our windscreen. I was very lucky that I managed to sort of quickly jump around it. Although I really wish I had gone straight through it, because that's what you're supposed to do in a situation like that. How nice is this view? If you guys didn't give a thumbs up for that view, you probably should. You should consider it. If you guys want to see more views like that, subscribe. Subscribe only for the next 3 days, because I'm only going to be here for the next 3 days. Some of these houses over here are amazing. I don't even know where I am. I just sort of started driving and like and my phone doesn't even work, so I don't even have GPS. You guys saw that view out to the river just before. Oh, sorry, out to the ocean just before. These houses are like waterfront properties on a golf course. Wow, this is beautiful. I'm going to quickly show you guys how massive the roads are here as well. Like, I'm just cruising on a back road right now. Like, look how much room I have. It's so amazing. And look at all these houses. I think this has slowly drifted away from like me talking about this car into just how incredible America is. I know in Australia that high density living is a massive thing there, and if you buy a new house nowadays, you're pretty much living in your neighbour's house. I absolutely hate the way that Australia has done that. Oh my god, there's a hot rod. And I absolutely hate high density living. But when you look at these houses here, for a country that is about the same size as Australia, and to see this country with 20 times as many people as what Australia does, you kind of wonder why or how people can be this spread apart when our government has told us that we need to live this close together, so you know we can provide for the future. But like, you know, this country is absolutely amazing. All their houses, like look at all these. Look, if you guys can see them, look at all these houses. They are absolutely amazing to look at. And all the houses are so nicely, evenly spread apart. Everything's so flat. It's just an absolutely beautiful country. Step on it. This thing is so much fun. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If you do, remember to subscribe and leave a like. I know this video was kind of like jumping all over the place, but you know, I really want to spend this time with my family, and so making videos is kind of like been put on the back burner, so I really do apologize. I promise once I get back, there is so many things we have to do to the turbo that is just going to make it so incredible. There's going to be so many awesome videos I'm going to be making for you guys when it comes to the turbo build. I really hope you guys stick around. Anyway, I hope you all really enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. I'm pulling into my street right now, so catch you all very soon.